Well, I just finished making myself a nice lunch while I was out here in the woods, and I thought this is a great time to share with you what I found to be the easiest, quickest, and lightest way of making a good cup of coffee while I'm out here, and that is using pre-filled filter bags. If you're interested, keep watching. So I have been using these coffee filter bags for quite some time now, but it wasn't until I watched a video just recently by a friend of mine, Steve, over at the Drifting Spore channel. I'll put a link to his channel at the end of this video if you're interested in checking Steve's channel out. And Steve has discovered these, and I thought, this is a good opportunity to share with everybody how I use them. So what do you get when you buy them? And I did purchase these myself. This is what you get. You get a quantity of these coffee bags empty. So there's no coffee in them when you get them. You put the coffee in yourself. Now, there's two ways you can use this. You can leave them empty, bring out your ground coffee, or grind it out here if you want it even fresher. Put the coffee inside of the little pouch. Pull the tabs open like this. Lay them over the rim of your coffee cup. Pour your hot water in. Coffee drains through. How simple does that get? When you're all said and done, you lift this out, put it in your trash bag to take home, you're good to go. Lightweight, simple operation. But to take it one step further, you can pre-fill these and then seal the top. If you look right across the top, you'll see there is a tear line, and it says open here. And how you use this is you fill the coffee in and then you seal the top shut. Now, I'll tell you how I go about sealing it, but there are a couple of other alternatives as well. I use the seal function on my vacuum seal. I just slide the bag in. Once I've put 2 tablespoons of ground coffee in, I'll slide the bag in on top of the sealing marker or the sealing line on the vacuum sealer, turn it on, wait, and it seals the bag shut perfectly. As I'll demonstrate in a moment, it's very, very easy to use. But I discovered there are other ways of sealing these bags up if you don't happen to have a vacuum sealer. So the first thing I would suggest is maybe go to Amazon and look for bag sealers. They're very inexpensive. I found some in the $12 to $13 Canadian range. A simple little battery-operated device that just heats up enough that it will seal plastic bags shut. So if you open a bag of chips or I don't know, whatever it is, but you don't finish them off, you want to seal in the freshness, you can use these bag sealers, reseal the bag up for a later time. They work perfectly for sealing these little coffee filters bags up as well. But I've tried a few other things. I did try the iron, an iron. Yes, you can use an iron. You do have to be cautious. Don't burn the heat up very high. And I would recommend you lay a piece of paper or something over top of the filter before you run the iron over it so it doesn't stick to the bottom of your iron and then you get in trouble like I almost did the first time I tried it. So that's one thing, another way of doing it. There are crimpers, like hair crimpers, I guess they are, can also heat up enough that it will do it. But I'm sure there are other ways and your imagination will help you out there. But for me, the vacuum sealer just makes this job so easy since I already have it. Okay, there's not a lot more to say about the preparation of them. Let me get my kettle on and we'll make some coffee. To use these coffee filter bags is really terribly simple. Just literally rip across the tear line, fold the wings out. It'll work on most cups. I wouldn't try it on a cup any bigger than the one I'm using right now. And pour your water through. So my water is hot, although I will need a glove for this. And then just slowly. Now, some of the same best practices apply here. If you put a little bit of water in to start, just a little bit, then it will pre-soak the coffee. We call it creating a bloom. I just call it pre-soaking. Soaks up some of the water, and that prevents water from running through too quickly. Now, I'll just start pouring water in. Not too quick a pace. If the bag fills to the top like it has here, I'll just wait for that to drain down a little bit. And continue to add water until it reaches the level that I want. And really, that's all there is to it, is just to continue to pour through. Now, I do want to show you what to do when your coffee is all run through. So I'll just cut away for a second, and once my coffee's all drained through, I'll bring you back just for the last step. Okay, the coffee is all drained through, so the last step is to take the wings from each side, hold it together, usually get just a tiny few more drips out of it. Make handles for picking up what otherwise would be a hot coffee bag, and slide it into your garbage bag. Like that. Easy peasy. All done. All cleaned. Ready to transport home. And now I have a nice hot cup of coffee. I'm going to put the lid on, keep it warm for a couple of minutes while I reposition the camera so we can close this video out. Alright, taste test. Still steaming, still hot. Do you know, I've tried a lot of ways of making coffee out here in the woods. I have a whole playlist on my channel for making coffee. Some of them are very simple. We've done instant coffees. We've done some very complex ways of making coffee out here as well, just to show all the different options. But honestly, this has got to be one of the easiest ways of making coffee that is the lightest, no special equipment required to do it, so easy to prepare, so easy to clean up. Man, it's hard to beat this. And it turns out a really nice cup of coffee. Because the water drains through the grounds so slowly, it actually does a good job of extracting a lot of flavor and a lot of strength from the coffee. And very inexpensive as well. I can't remember what I paid for them, but I got a bag of 50 of those envelopes, which will last me for a good while. And then I'll order another one. And like I mentioned, I'll put the link to where I bought mine on Amazon. You may be able to find them cheaper from another company. I think it's a Canadian company I ordered these ones from, so you may be able to find something similar elsewhere as well. Now, the only thing I'm going to say about prepping these in advance is that those of us who love coffee know that once you have ground your coffee, you've started the timer on it and how long it's going to stay fresh. Ground coffee stales much faster than whole bean coffee. So I just put that out there. If you're going to be prepping these things up, just prep up a few and then put them in your bag, and you can go out for a couple of days worth. Or don't prep them up ahead of time at home. Actually take the grinder with you. I know we're starting to add complexity, but you can take a grinder with you, take the empty bags, take the beans, grind them up just before you put the coffee in the bag, and do it that way. You'll get a fresher cup of coffee, but really that's only a value if you think you're going to be out for quite a while and having a lot of pre-prepared bags is going to make them go stale. Maybe you don't mind the flavor of the coffee once it's been ground, but for me, I just do up 3, 4 at a time, and I'll put them in a sealed bag, take all the air out, or as much air out of it as I can, and they're good for a couple of days out here in the woods. Oh, man. That really is hard to beat, something like that. Steve, I want to thank you for reminding me about these. I mean, yeah, they're in my bag and I do take them out, but I had, like I mentioned, so many other types and ways of making coffee that they kind of went to the back burner. But now that most of my coffee making machines and the like have been reviewed, I can go back to doing things the simple way again. Okay, as I mentioned, I'll put the links to where I purchased mine in the video description. Please check out Steve's channel and see if there's anything there you're interested in watching. But if you have any comments or questions, put them in the comments section below. Then, until next time, get out and explore and take that path less traveled, because it will make all the difference. Bye for now.